What's going on, everybody? It's Brett from Positive Chaos. It's Dave's birthday this week, so I'm gonna make him a special treat and make some bread, but not just any bread. We'll make a beer bread. Now, the basics of beer bread is like any bread, except the beer is the water. And you can use, honestly, any beer you want because the flavor of the beer greatly changes the flavor of the bread. Last time a friend of mine was over the house, he bought some nasty fruity beers, like this peach flavored lager. It was gross, made great bread. I don't have any of that because I don't want to buy that just to have it. I don't plan on making 6 breads. But we're gonna go with a High Life, Cigar City Brewing. And we're gonna kind of do it in a sourdough style, but not really because we're using yeast instead of a starter. I mean a sourdough style because we're gonna use an autolyze process, which means you just combine your flour and your wet liquid, and you just let it sit for an hour or so. Really hydrates the flour. It actually starts building gluten. You don't even have to knead it, and it makes the kneading process a little easier. We're gonna be doing that. And since we want to eat the bread today, instead of active dry, we're going with rapid rise. So it's gonna be quick. The rapid rise, it's not gonna taste as good, and you're not gonna get as intricate a flavor because science and fermentation or something. That's why sourdough tastes so good, because it's such a developed yeast and it takes so long for it to rise and ferment and eat away. It's just better. Basically, the longer you can let bread sit and do its thing, the better it's gonna be. But we're quick and we're lazy and there's a party tonight, so I'm using rapid. You gotta feed the yeast. And I think we're gonna use some of this authentic Canadian maple syrup that my neighbor got me. Basically, just warm up some water, give it some sugar, let the yeast eat a little bit, and then we'll incorporate that into the autolyzed dough. I'm gonna be using sea salt because it's what I have. Anyway, here's the recipe. 1 can of beer, it's give or take 345 grams. We're doing metric because baking's science and you better be using metric. We're gonna be using 500 total grams total of flour. And I'm gonna do 25% whole wheat flour, which is 130 grams, and then the rest, 390 grams, is gonna be regular old unbleached white flour. You could use bread flour. It doesn't really make a difference. I think the only difference is that there's a little more protein in it, I think, whatever, and that does something with the yeast, and I don't know, just use flour. Let's get this autolyze started. Gotta warm up the beer first. Nothing like cracking a beer at 10:30 in the morning, though. All right, we got our beer on the burner, just nice and low. You want to get that, I don't know, 100 degrees or so. The temperature is really more important for the yeast instead of just the autolyze process, but that's what we're gonna do. Gonna get it nice and warm, so we mix it in. It'll just help everything mix. You know, your hands won't be cold. So let's start with the wheat. 390 of the white. Well, let's get the dries mixed up. Best part of making dough is just get your hands in there and just start mixing. Finally got all the dough off my hands. This is looking like, you know, a mess, but we'll check this after an hour. 1 hour later, boom, and look at that. It's actually kind of looking almost like a dough now. See that stretch? And that's the beauty of the autolyze process. All right, now we gotta get our yeast cooking up with our sugar and then get our salt mixture made. Check it out. 103 degrees, 104 degrees, 5, whatever. It's still underneath 110. Actually, it's going up. Nope, see? Should be enough. Give it some food, a little bit of maple syrup. Oh yeah. Awesome. So you see all this activity here. That means the yeast isn't dead. We didn't kill it, and it hasn't been sitting on the shelf for too long. So if you don't see your yeast doing anything, go get more yeast. It's like $1/4 for one of these packets. Get some flour on my work table here. Make a nice little butthole down there. Just drop it. Boom. There you go. It's kneaded. And now we're just gonna let it rise. Maybe put a little nice coating of flour on it. All right, it's been, I don't know, 2 hours? Look at that. Look at it. Look at that. That's what you want to see. All right, so that's first proof done. Now we gotta shape it and then let it hang out in this little guy. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, too much flour, too much stretch. Definitely overworked. You don't want this to happen. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It's gonna be delicious. All right. That's what we're cooking it in. All right. Oven's preheated. This guy had its second proof. It's looking all right. It's gonna be fine. See, most of these closed up. So, you know, like I said, it's science, but it's not exact science. Nice. This guy's screaming hot. He's 450 degrees. Make sure to use your gloves. Let cheat a little bit. Boom, look at that. You can use any knife to cut this too, but yeah, we're gonna score it a couple times. Let's do this. Boom. Wow, that's kind of deep. And then, or boom. All right, first timer went off, 25 minutes. Let's get this guy out of the oven. And see, look at this. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Probably another 20 minutes in at 350. That fit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now it's important to let it cool all the way. It's gonna take an hour. I know you want to eat it because it smells delicious, but you gotta let it cool down. I got for spreading the butter around to the a butter knife. You got a cutter knife and a butter knife. All right, we're back. It's been a couple of hours. We have the bread here. We got the band here. Let's check out how this thing looks. All right, everybody in, ready? Ooh.
Good shot of that right there. Look at that right there. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's good, bro.
That's a good cut. This guy's cut a bread or two as well. Oh.
Alrighty. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a good hard bread. Okay. Alright. So this has been Cooking with Chaos. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
First time we got all of us together.
Yeah, man. That's beer bread.
Oh, yeah.